So in today's class, we will discuss about uh, embedded system in detail. Okay. So yesterday we have seen the simple definition of embedded system. So today we will discuss about little bit in detail about the embedded system. So yesterday we defined, so embedded system is a hardware. Okay. So it is an hardware. So with software embedded in it. That is the software in the terms of programming codes, right? So which is embedded into the hardware. So for any special applications or dedicated applications. So this is what. So if they ask you in 10 mark, probably so design an embedded system, then probably so you can come out with additional points. That is to build an embedded system. What is the necessity? That is you require either a microprocessor, microcomputer, or microcontroller, so like that. So these are all the IC, right? So which plays a heart of embedded system, as we discussed earlier. So, so these components will play a main role in any type of embedded system, right? So these main are these particular ICs are the heart of the embedded system. If you take a complex system where you will be using a microprocessor, so what it does the three operation, that is, it fetch, decode, and execute. See, the computing engine will do three process. That is, it will fetch your code, that it will convert into the machine language, and it will execute that. That is what the processor will do. Right? It take an input, it will process that. Right? So if you consider microcomputer, additional with the processor, we'll be having a memory and input-output device. So where you will be using for some applications. So these are all the man in the embedded system which does certain tasks. Okay. So if you come to microcontroller, so microcontroller, it takes input, it processes the data and controls the environment also. Right? If you have a simple microcontroller, yesterday we have seen the fire alarm system. So we have a sensor here. So once sensor sends some input from the physical quantity, if it is a temperature or if it is a smoke, then probably sensor gives a input to the microcontroller, then microcontroller will automatically give certain output, right? So this output device can be any air conditioner, which controls the air condition of the entire room. For example, if it is a room, so this particular output will controls the entire room. So that's why here the point controls the environment conditions. So in such kind of simple applications, we use a microcontroller. So not only this, we have some more the main core of the embedded system, like DSP, that is digital signal processor. So it is one of the processor which comes into this category, first category. And then we have FPGA. So that is another type of VLSI based processor will be used as a main core of embedded system. So these core will be selected based on the application, based on the dedicated application, for understanding. Okay, right. If you take a complete embedded system, so inside this particular embedded system, as we discussed, for any application, we'll be having a microcontroller, we will be having some memory unit or any other sensor to be interfaced or some other peripherals, right? So whatever may be, right? So which is interconnected internal world and external world. So inside, coming to the, this is, let me take, this is input, this is output. So coming to the point, so inside the micro controller or microprocessor, there are certain blocks. There are certain blocks inside the microcontroller or microprocessor. We have a number of blocks. So these blocks are interfaced, that is connected. These blocks are connected by using some lines. What is this lines called? Bus. What is bus? So bus is nothing but a simple, I can say, a conducting medium where the electric signal is passed from one point to another point, right? So that is here that I am telling the electric signal in the terms of data, right? So all the data will be in electric quantity, that is either in the digital form, either it can be 1 or 0. That is what I would like to explain. Okay. So these buses will be like address bus will be there, control bus will be there, data bus will be there. For transferring of data to the output device or getting a data from the input device, we'll be using some data lines through the data lines. So we'll be using a bus, right? So data bus used for taking a data, address bus used to point out the address, and control bus is used to indicate that whether, for example, read or write operation, what exactly your microcontroller is going to do, whether it is going to read a data from the input device or output device. So such kind of things. These are all some, so internally I'm speaking, and whatever I'm speaking is if you see some Arduino board, we have center core Atmega 328 IC. So inside that IC, we have these buses, right? That we will discuss in detail from 8051 architecture, everything. So this is how the general. See, then coming to the application point, if you want to write a code for any application. So as we discussed previously, the specific application will be running into loop. That is, it will get into infinite loop. Yesterday also we discussed for traffic light control. Initially, the green light will be blown for a while, and then yellow light for a while, and then red light for a while. Okay. So after that, after red light, once again it should come to green. So this sequence of code should be inside the infinity loop. So this is how you will be writing any type of special purpose or dedicated application, right? So we'll be writing everything in while of one, while of one. So all the application coding will be in this structure, right? So this is how you can step by step explain. If they ask you to brief out the embedded system, so you can brief out by simple definition. So inside the embedded system, we have a main core, some like this, and how internal of this main core we have these buses. And if you want to write any application code, how you have to write this in this way, so you can explain sequentially, right? So how you understood, you can understand sequentially how the complete embedded system looks like a simple device. See how it does it look. See, it has a processor, and it has inside we have resistor, and it has a memory, right? So it has ADC to take input from external sensor, and we have PWM or timer for delay something, and we have serial port where externally you need to transfer a data or receive a data serially. So these kind of things can be done. So how does the complete system looks like? Simple embedded system. Right? This is a simple model of embedded system. So this model, what we say as the real-time system, right? So once again, we are differentiating it as hard real-time system, which indicates that it meets the deadline. That is, it gives a response accurately. Another word we say soft, that is, it may give approximate output. That is, that is, uh, it gives best effort to meet the deadline, but that is approximate. The data will not be so accurate. That is what the point I would like to say. And then once again, they are differentiating in another type, that is prim real-time system. That is either it will, sometimes it will give the exact output, sometimes it will give the wrong information also. So they're segregating in this way. See, for example, for this one, I can tell you simple example, the models or devices which is developed by industry, for example. For this example, I can simply say the product which you have developed for mini project. No? So that will come under this way. Because the methodology or design procedure, we will not be following, a validation is not done. Right? So number of times you should execute and see, every time it should give the appropriate, accurate result. So in this way, you can give more detail about the embedded system, point by point. So if an exam, if they ask, give brief about the embedded system in 10 mark, so you can explain these points, right? Any doubt you can ask, you can give some applications of embedded system, right? So in detail, you can explain if they ask in exam. Okay. So coming to the next topic, embedded system design. That is, before developing any devices, for example, Arduino board, right? So what happens? What industries are doing? So before developing any hardware, they will come across this sequence to form a complete product. To form a complete product. So that's why we say this is an embedded system life cycle. Okay, that is, so initially, if any manufacturer want to design a complete Arduino board, first initially they will come out with idea. So how, what is the exact input, output, applications, everything, and then conceptually, what is the input, what is the output, analysis. So how to design that particular hardware. One second. Yeah. So how to design particular hardware? They will analyze. So where this controller should be there, where memory should be there. So, and then where the output pins should be placed in the board. So everything will come into the analysis part. Then they will design it. They will design into a complete hardware, right? So once again, they will go for testing. And then finally, they will be coming out as a development product for after testing. So from the development product, so you can go ahead with supports in the sense, here comes some software uh, development and interfacing with the hardware. Finally, interfacing with both, writing a code, and finally you are checking out for which input, what is the output, everything comes here. Upgrading, that is, if it is not exact output, what can be the upgradation can be done, and then finally retirement. That is coming as a complete product. This is the cycle they follow for student understanding. I have given certain points from internet resources. So here, basically, the students want to develop a simple embedded project, right? So what you will do, initially you will go with some basic requirement. That is, depends on the application. My the main aspect is I will be going for very small size hardware. It should be compact. Cost should be very less. The weight should be very less. The functionality I'll be checking out single function or multi-function, right? So that is this will come into the coding part. That is coding and external function, like whether multifunctional can be like temperature sensor, smoke sensor will be interfaced to my system, so that it will come into number of functions, right? So my hardware will take input as input from smoke sensor also. My hardware will take input from temperature sensor also, some other input. So it will act as a multi-function system for different applications. So these are all my requirements where before developing a product, my application will play. Based on my application, I'll be designing this, right? So design the system architecture. So system architecture in the sense, here comes some external interface. I want to design a hardware where my external interface should be connected. For example, pen drive for PC, like so, like that. So some other input or output device, uh, Ethernet devices can be connected to the PC. So like that. So these are all the points as a based on your application. You have to think about that, and then based for my application whether OS is required, operating system is required or not, that we have to check out. And then coming to the fourth point, choose the processor, what processor I'm going to use for my application. If it is a complex, we'll be using a microprocessor. If it is a complex system, then OS will be used. So these kind of things, steps uh, we should necessarily we should consider, and then choose the development platform. So in this development platform, so where you will be as a user, what we do, we'll be writing a code, and we'll be checking out whether my application is working proper or not. Development tools, that is a suitable software required for my applications. So everything is chosen here. Code the applications and optimize here where I will be coding for my application. Then whatever the code I have developed, I'll be using a software on the host. That is, for example, I'll be using on my system, right? So finally, once the code is executed, that is, you have properly developed your coding, then you can execute on the target device. That is target device in the sense that till the time you have developed here, right? So here, this is your target device. So these are all the points you have considered for the development of your target device. So finally developed, you will be coding by using some software. Finally, you will be dumping into the hardware for checking out for your applications. And then finally, the complete model is developed and utilized in real time. Right? So this is how the step-by-step process. See, for example, designing system architecture, that is whether OS operating system is required or not, we are checking out everything. And then OS, what type of OS you are going to use. If it is a PC, mobile phone kind of embedded system. And then choose what type of processor, whether you require Intel, different types of processor are there, different types of controller, depends on the applications we use. And then choose development platform. So here comes the software, which software you are going to use, emulators, what emulators we are going to use, everything for debugging process. Then finally, the coding part, we use either any type of a language. We can use C, C++, Java, assembly, anything. and whatever the coding you have done for your application, you will be compiling here in simple by using PC. Finally, the compiled object file that will be dumped into the target system. So where the complete hardware target system is your embedded system, right? So whether after loading, whether finally we'll be checking out by whether you are getting proper output for your corresponding input. So dumping process can be done by some emulator, right? So emulator will be interfaced uh, between PC to hardware. For example, Arduino board inbuilt they have emulator. So once you give after run, if you give sorry after building, if you give run, then automatically code will be dumped into the target device, right? So right, this is the simple design and development process. So as a simple engineer for product development, these are all the steps required for development of a product. So challenges is always what would be the challenges? First thing, power consumption should be very less, and then the area occupied should be compact. So environment adaptability in the sense the hardware which you design should mechanically strength. For example, if I put my hardware above 5 feet, the hardware should not happen anything, and it should have the ability to withstand your environment condition also, right? So very soon it should not be damaged for any cause by the environment. And then package and integration in the sense the particular hardware should be very compact and easily you can have transportation to the some other wherever is required. The integration in the sense you can integrate your particular hardware with some other devices also. That facilities should be there. Updation of hardware and software should be there. Security, for example, if it is a you have developed a embedded device for computer, then probably the computer has a security system. We have password to lock it. So such kind of facilities is a challenging thing in designing a complete system. So, so that's it about. This is one of the another question, important question. So you may ask in the examination. So embedded system design and development process. So as a company person, what to develop a complete product, which is going to, for example, a complete Arduino board. What and all the requirement? How will you execute to develop that particular product for one applications, any applications? Okay. So what are the steps you will do? So these are all the steps we will be following. Right. The challenges for that particular system should be compact. The area should be very small device. That's why Arduino Nano has come. Very small device. It cost around 100 rupees. Right. So what is the design procedure they would have used in such a manner so that they have given the the compact model. So that's it about today's class.